I'm gonna get 4 more because they're here. This is my Black Friday, you guys. You know how I am about the Hourglass holiday launches. I've been covering them for the last 6 years. And this year is no different. And if you are watching this, they are finally available for the early access. Yay! So I will have the link for the VIP access down below for you guys because it's actually not the official launch date. The official launch date for this collection is actually September 6th. But if you signed up for the wait list, we get access now. And I'm going to do what I've done the last few years. We're going to take a look at the website together. We're going to go on this journey together, go over the new colors, go over the existing colors, go over what I think will be best for what skin tone, what's worth it, what's not, my favorite color story, all of that. Because it's been a journey throughout the years with these palettes. And why do I like these? Because they're crazy expensive. To me, these are the creme de la creme of powders. These are the best powders on the market. These are literally Instagram filters in a powder. And if you know the prices of these individually, for example, a mini blush, because we'll count this as mini, a mini blush is $30. So even with the new price, which we'll talk about that, $94, it still is a very, very good deal for a top-of-the-line formulation. And these, I get my money's worth out of these. I travel with these. I always have these on the side. I'm always grabbing for these when I'm off camera, when I'm on camera. I always use these as finishing powder. We'll talk about it. I've done this spiel so many times. To me, it is worth it. However, if you do buy them every single year, you don't need to buy them every single year because they do all kind of look the same. They do. But I love the powder so much, I don't care. But yeah, let me get that out of the way. If you bought some last year, you probably don't need to buy some this year unless you're a little crazy like me. And if you are, welcome. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to the Hourglass website now. Now, okay, this is my way of cheating, you guys. It's actually not available on the US website yet at the time that I'm filming this. So I'm actually on the UK website because it's available for the UKers, but I just want the photos. That's the point. If you're watching this, it is available on the US website. So if you are struggling to find the palettes, literally in the search bar, just type up Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Palettes, and you see, here we have even the holiday brushes, and there's going to be 2 options. One is just the regular Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked, and then the other is the custom palette, because yes, even in the UK and the US, we are going to be able to customize what covers we want with which color stories. I know not every country got that last year, so I'm excited to see that this is here this year, and this is how you find it on the website because the custom is right here, and then the regular one is over here. Now, 92 in pounds. I was like, I'm on the UK website, right? 92 pounds. For the US, it's going to be $94, and we'll talk about this whole situation over here. It was $90 last year, so they're upping the price even more. If I remember correctly, didn't they start at like $80? Come on now. Now, these are limited edition. They sell out of these every single year, and they do not let these go on sale for a long, long time. Even when they have Black Friday sales, they like exclude these. So you will be able to get this on sale eventually if it doesn't sell out, and it will take a little bit of time. But all of these have been leaked online, so we've seen these before, but I am going to go over them with you guys. So they worked with, who was it? A Ukrainian tattoo artist, Sasha Unisex, to do the art this year. There are 4 different covers, And so you can get the curated palettes, which are what I'm personally going to purchase just to keep it easy. But for those of you who want to customize the palette, the awesome thing is all 4 of the artworks are available to be customized with 3 of the color stories. I believe the horse color story, since it is a Sephora exclusive, will not be on the website. You can only get that on Sephora 24 hours early in app on the 5th. Then across all, that's a really long time difference. But that's why you only see the 3 color stories. Horse is a Sephora exclusive, which is interesting that they're doing that. However, you can get the horse artwork in the customization section with the 3 other color stories. I'm okay with the horse being only at Sephora because these are no new shades. Just FYI, again, we'll get into it. But that's kind of the lay of the land, how we get there. So if you go to custom and you want the Swan, you want color palette number 2, then you add that baby to cart and you'll have the custom option. You can add $5 for whatever you want it gift wrapped in if you are getting this as a gift. So $5 or pounds, excuse me. Dear, so it was $5 US last year. So I don't know if it's going to be more this year. So if I want it in the horse packaging, add to cart, and it will be packaged in that. But let's get into the actual color stories. There are 4 this year, which is a lot. We're going to start off with the horse since this is the one that is not on the website because it will only be available at Sephora. Now the catch with this one is there are no new shades. These are all pre-existing shades, and in fact, someone did send this to me in my DMs. Here's the new horse palette. You can get 2 of the shades from the elephant in 2022, 2 of the shades from the leopard in 2023, and 2 of the shades from the universe unlocked in 2021. Now, obviously, those are spanning over multiple years. You probably, if you're not a crazy collector like me, don't have all of these shades. But if you are a collector, do keep that in mind that these shades do exist. So we have Soft Light Finishing Powder, Mood Exposure Blush, which is one of my all-time favorite blushes from them, but I have it in a lot of different palettes. Supernatural Strobe Light Highlighter, Iridescent Coral Blush, which is another one of my favorites. I love Iridescent Coral. I actually have it in this palette right here. Iridescent Rose Blush, very beautiful, heavy on the blush. And then the Glistening Bronze Light Bronzer. I do like that this has 1 of each formula. However, it is quite heavy with the 3 blushes and they all look quite pink. I would say this is going to be best for the light to medium skin tone range if you're looking for recommendations. And the blushes are all going to be pinky. Mood Exposure does have a little bit more of a mauve tone to it. It's a pretty palette. It's not a color story that I'm dying over as a collector because, I mean, these shades do exist. But when this becomes available, I will link it for you guys. But that is the horse palette. That's what you need to know. No new shades, light medium skin tone range, and a lot of these shades appear in a lot of other palettes. Soft Light is everywhere. Iridescent Coral, it was in the elephant palette, and then the Barney's palette, it was also in that one, because, yeah. If you bought the Barney's palette last year, you have Iridescent Coral as well. Mood Exposure, I have so many palettes. So these are not unique shades to the line. They might be extras. Just a lot of extra, a lot of overstock, and they threw them in this palette. So if there was one palette that I don't recommend that's the least exclusive, let's say, it would be this one. But if you are a first-time Hourglass shopper, it is a very pretty palette. If you don't have many palettes, you're golden. Pick whichever one you think you would use the most. It doesn't matter what's existing, what's not. I'm so excited and jealous that you get to try the formula for the first time. I've done a lot of videos on my channel explaining how best to use the formulas and how transformative each powder can be for your look. So welcome to the journey if you're here. Hopefully, if this is your first palette, one of these 4, I can help you find the best one for you. So let's head back over to the Hourglass website. We're going to start off with the Deer palette. I would say the Deer palette is probably going to be, from what I've seen, the most fair skin tone friendly. And you'll see in the photos that they have for the Deer palette that she's very fair skin. She has blue eyes. Okay, yeah, here's the photo I wanted. This is why I was waiting to talk about the palettes, because I love when Hourglass does this artwork. So in this palette, you're getting two finishing powders, one bronzer, one highlighter, and two blushes. Now, I always say when it comes to finishing powder, I personally don't think it's necessary to have more than one because the finishing powders are more sheer. But these do look a little bit different. I don't have these yet, so I'm gonna have to see them side by side to tell you what I think. But we are including one brand new finishing powder, which is quite rare. Hourglass, since these powders are since these powders are so sheer, they don't really come out with new ones very often. This one looks like it has a nice peachy tone to it, which is quite trendy right now, peachy and pinky kind of color correcting tones. So I'm interested in this new shade, Aura Light. And then we have Dream Light, which is really pretty because actually on my skin tone, it can be a super natural highlighter slash brightener. I really enjoyed that shade as well. So then we have Diffused Bronze Light, which is an already existing shade. And then we have Iridescent Strobe Light, an already existing highlighter. And then we have two brand new blushes to the line, a Radiant Peach blush and a Vibrant Pink blush. These do not have the marbling, so it's going to look the same every time you apply it. It'll be a little bit smoother looking on the cheeks. I like the pinky peachy vibe that they have going on here. I think this is quite a cohesive palette. And I like that the blushes are different from one another, unlike the Horse palette where I felt like the blushes could pull similar on the face. So if you have fair skin tone, this is the one that I would recommend for you. There are 3 new shades, 3 existing shades in this one. I'm trying to decide. I'm not jumping for joy over this, but I do love the peachy pinky vibe that they have going on here. Maybe I can give you some more final decisions as we take a deeper dive into the next 2. But that is the quick look over at the Deer palette. Now let's go to the Swan palette, which you'll see they're advertising for more medium complexions. Looking at this, because I know that these powders sheer out so well, this will definitely work for a light to medium complexion. And do keep in mind that these palettes do tend to pull darker in person, at least from my experience. I won't be able to say until I have them in my hand, but they do tend to pull a little deeper. So the shades in here, quickly, 4 new shades, 2 existing shades. So that's actually pretty nice. That is more of an incentive to myself as a collector. And Dim Light for me is the perfect finishing powder. It's very, very close to my skin tone. I love to use that as an all-over blur to my face to blend all of my cheek colors together. I don't mind a dim light being in every single palette because I use it so much and it's so versatile. The new highlighter here is Golden Hour. It looks like it could potentially leave a cast on me. We'll see. I'm just going by the photos. And then Natural Bronze Bronzer. This is not marbled. The only marbled one will be the Mauve Fusion Blush, which is new. Then we have Sunset Flush, which is a little bit more orangey. And then Luminous Coral, which, even though it's a new shade, Hourglass probably does have existing blushes like these. But again, I really like how these blushes are very, very different from one another. I think that's quite well thought out. I think the bronzer could be deeper if they're advertising this to more deeper complexions, or medium toned complexions, I should say. It looks pretty light, doesn't it? Maybe it'll be darker in person, but I'm questioning it. But other than that bronzer, it definitely looks very medium skin tone friendly. I mean, these blushes, especially Mauve Fusion, looks like it can really build up some color here, but the beauty of Hourglass is it can also be softened very easily for those of you with a lighter complexion. I'm really happy with this for a medium complexion, minus the bronzer. I'm gonna have to see that in person. It looks like, you know, you get a lot of options with the blushes. I'm thinking 3 blushes is a lot. However, they're also different from one another. And I feel like the highlight, the bronzer, and the finishing powder are such staple universal shades that they chose. That's just going to melt into the skin beautifully. I'm not bothered by this selection and the 3 very different blushes, especially right now when blushes are so trendy. So I'm not mad how they did that, because these seem like they can be very classic, versatile shades for every day. And then you change up the look with your blush for the day. And you can do a cool sunset blush with this, no? Like, these could bleed into each other really nicely. I'm excited for the Swan palette, actually. I wasn't expecting to love that so much when I was first looking at the sneak peeks, but I'm actually very excited for this one now. Let's take a look at the Fox palette next. And as you can see, this is their deeper complexion palette. And again, these do tend to look deeper in person. If you click on this video right here, you'll see with the Fox palette that, again, it does look deeper than what we're seeing in these photographs. If we can get there. Oh, so pretty. But they're very clear here on which complexion they intended these palettes for. But let's see what shades we have. This one, though, is very exciting for the collectors in particular, because 5 brand new shades and only 1 repeat shade, which is Lucid Glow Blush, which is a stunning blush to begin with. I love that one. It's kind of golden on the cheek. But we have a new highlighter in Solar Glow. We have a new finishing powder in Desert Light. We have new bronzer in Bronze Fusion. This looks like it might have a unique undertone to it. New blush in Amethyst Haze and Canyon Heat. Interesting. I feel like this would look good for a really golden sun-kissed look. So what I'm thinking right now, 3 blushes once again, 1 finishing powder, 1 bronzer, 1 highlight. So they're very heavy on the blushes this year. So if you are lighter like me, you can still make this palette work. It might be a little less traditional and you'll have to probably use a light hand. Maybe say the highlighter won't be a good highlighter on you, but these work beautifully as eyeshadows as well. I don't know about this on a deep complexion though. I need to see it in person before I can give my final opinion, but if you do have a deeper complexion, this would be the option for you. Again, does this bronzer look a bit light? Like, Amethyst Haze is definitely going to show up on someone with a deep skin tone. I don't know why they struggle with this every single year. I'm excited about this one because it has 5 new shades. But is this one screaming out to me as really exciting, really inclusive? No, it is not. Taking a look at all 4 of the palettes when it comes to the ranking, interesting that all 4 of these are very blush heavy. Normally they'll do a little bit of a different ratio, but very blush heavy, which I'm not mad about because that is the most prominent color on the face. That's what's going to make the most different from palette to palette. I really love how these blushes on the 3 on the website, they're very, very different from one another. The only one where that's not the case is the Horse palette. I don't really recommend the Horse palette. I don't. I think it's the least exclusive. I think it's the least thought out. Pushing that to the side. For myself, I am the most excited about the Swan palette. I think this one looks like the most me. I think the blush selection is just scrumdiddlyumptious delicious. I think it looks so good. The fair one I think looks really pretty as well. I mean, these are pretty. Are they breaking the mold here? No. Is this different from any other year that they've launched these palettes? No, it's the same formula. And the reason that they're doing this is because they're so good, people buy them anyways. Don't fix what ain't broke, I guess. So they're not changing anything up. If you bought any of these palettes in the past, these are no different. This is just a good opportunity for you to refresh your formulations. However, if you are a stan, a diehard like me, who needs to have these formulas in the collection, I'm still excited. That doesn't change anything, but I will acknowledge, yes, it is the same. It is the same, okay? I'm still excited. Don't yuck my yum. So now that I've gotten over the color stories, because I just needed to go through that real quick, let's just take a tour of the rest of the website, shall we? One of the reasons I love doing these videos is I love looking at the website. There is a team out here who puts a lot of effort into putting this website together with all of the beautiful photos. And let's take a moment to acknowledge it and also just to teach you how to navigate through the website. So we already went over how to do custom versus curated palettes. I didn't talk about really the specific details here, but if you do want to go into details, it will tell you more about the artwork and about how Hourglass will donate 5% of profits to the Non-Human Rights Project. Let's see. And then if you also want more details on the colors when it comes to color descriptions, you also have that right here. So for the deer, it will give you more in-depth descriptions of each shade. Some of them I feel like are kind of wrong sometimes. That's why I was just going by my eyeballs, but you do get more in-depth descriptions of each shade. And then they of course do have a how to use section, but I'll do a TikTok or a short and I'll show you guys how to use them, because if you're watching this, I've already ordered them. So we have some of the videos that they put together, which I just showed you. That was already on the top. I'm just seeing if there's anything unique in other parts of the website, because if you keep scrolling down, it just keeps going. But same kind of formula as last year with how they did it. Love the customization aspect. I will say, I'm not telling you that you need to get the brushes, but I do love my Hourglass double-sided brushes. They're extremely soft, and I use them with my Hourglass powders all the time. They're a very expensive brush. Buy the palettes, not the brushes, but I do enjoy the brushes that I have. Okay, so I think we went over the whole website here. Hopefully I didn't talk your ear off too much. I just wanted this to be a quickie. I wanted to explore the website with you and just chit the chat about my favorite holiday launch of the year. Yes, holiday launches are officially being kicked off. This was last year's first holiday launch that I talked about as well. Like, this kicks off the season. This is my favorite launch of the season, so it is one to start off with a bang. Let's just say that I'm excited about these, even if it's the same thing. Doesn't matter. I'm still excited about these. What I would love to see from Hourglass, and I talked about this in last year's video as well, I need monochrome palettes. I need like a cool toned lavender palette. I need like a golden peachy sunburnt palette, all curated for a single look. We need more on theme ones. But anyways, Hourglass, if you want to call me, I'm available to give you what the people want. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, the links to shop these palettes early access I will have down below, and I of course will be keeping you updated in my YouTube community tab as these become available more places, like the horse palette, for example, if you want it. Mine are already on the way if this is up, so I put down the money for all 3 of these palettes. I will probably be buying the horse palette. I'll get a feel for your guys' opinion, but I'm definitely getting these 3 palettes that you see right now. I wish they weren't $94. I'm kind of mad about that. Like, they're so expensive now. If you don't get it, I understand. They're so expensive now. Anyways, make sure to subscribe to me, because of course, as soon as mine come in, I will be doing a full review, full swatch, full demo of each of these palettes, giving you my thoughts, all of that good stuff. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.
It's delicious.